at that point to come in and help us.
Commissioner, I'm not sure. Only state senators and state reps can ask for Attorney General opinions. I think you know that, don't you?
I know that, but the question is, why didn't you come to this body and say, hey, guys, I think we've got something we can work with here?
I don't represent this body. I represent Mayor Ragsdale and Senator Burchett, but if you'd like to hire me on a pro bono basis, I'd be glad to talk to you, Mr. Chairman.
Well, and I'll say one other thing. I don't think that this body has to approve or not approve anything for the legislature to proceed. And we've seen that in years past, and 911 board appointments taken from this body, and other issues taken away from this body through legislative action that we didn't send them two-thirds majority. So, Commissioner Pinkston, you have the floor.
Bud, let me ask you this. Did I understand you right? In 1980, they called for a special election.
Well, they didn't call for a special election. You're talking about in the Nashville case,
right,
Commissioner? No, how that arose, as I understand the facts, the fellow that died in office, the Metropolitan Davidson County, they replaced, and then they asked for that fellow to be his vacancy, his term to be extended until the next election, which happened to be a presidential primary in May. The gentleman thought that he should be elected in the regular August county elections, and that set up the issue. The court ruled that it was acceptable to go ahead and have the election in the presidential primary. And I can read the
I believe that's what the Constitution of the State of Tennessee says also, isn't it?
Well, no, not exactly. The opinion's a very short opinion. It's only 3 pages long. I'd be glad to get you a...
Going back to it, had they already made that appointment in Nashville?
Yes, they had. Yes, sir.
You know, I don't understand. Right now, we do not have any vacancies.
Correct.
And according to the Supreme Court's ruling on Section 2, Article 7 there, it says, vacancies in county offices shall be filled by the county legislative body, and any person so appointed shall serve until a successor is elected at the next election occurring after the vacancy and is qualified. Now, the Constitution goes to state that that's the third Thursday, I'll have to read it right, Thursday in August. All right. Well, what I'm saying is, what we're really trying to do right now is start impeachment proceedings against these 8 people that we've got in here. Is that not correct, what this is leading to?
Absolutely not.
Well, we're trying to throw them out of office before the Constitution thing says we should. I think that would be impeachment. Maybe I'm wrong, but we've got a Constitution here that we're supposed to live by. What does it say, Bud, on the elections?
It says until the next
election.
You're misreading the Constitution.
When does it determine when the next election is? Does it not say the county general primary in August?
Would you like me to answer, Commissioner?
Yeah, I would. Mm-hmm.
Let me read from the 1980 opinion, which very succinctly answers your question. This is from the 3rd page of the opinion, the next to last paragraph in the opinion. It says, we conclude, until such time as the legislature speaks affirmatively and with specificity upon the subject, the phrase next election, when considered in context of Article 7, Section 5 of the Constitution, voicing the constitutional imperative that elections of judicial and civil officers be elected on the first Thursday in August forever thereafter, and when considered in the light of almost 2 centuries of custom, tradition, habit, and practice, must be held to mean the regular August general election. We recognize, however, the right of the legislature to act under Article 7, Section 5, but only in a manner consistent with that article. The opinion makes clear the legislature can define what the next election is. That's what Mayor Ragsdale is asking the Commission to endorse. If the Commission is not interested in having this tool in the toolbox, then they should vote no. But if the Commission is interested in allowing the public to speak earlier than later, they should vote yes.
Well, now, on this ruling here, it says consequently that, you'll have to pardon me, I've got a code. The Knox County Election Commission, the election commissioner, cannot conduct a special election to fill these county vacancies. Rather, the election commission shall place these county offices on the regular August the 7th, 2008 ballot. If the county primary board so chooses, either or both may timely call for a primary for any or all of these offices to be held with the February presidential primary or in May. All right, now I want to ask you this. On this special election, when is it to be held?
Well, that would depend on what the legislation says. We've asked for two opinions from the AG. One is the idea of having legislation that says the next election will be the earlier of the next general election or an election date set by the county commission of the county affected. Or another option is to have it on the next municipal election of the largest municipality in the county. Those are two possibilities, but really it can be whatever the legislation says.
Well, if we don't piggyback it with the city, we're going to have to pay for it. Knox County is. Now, according to Greg McKay here, he said it was going to run about $250,000 for a primary for the general. So we're talking about $500,000. Right now, we're strapped for tax money, I think. I may be wrong. We've been spending it unwisely, and we've got a lot of things facing us right now. But if we don't piggyback, it's going to cost us $500,000. All right, if we do piggyback it, we're still going to have to pay for the county part. It's the post. So there's not that many months difference between the county election and the city election. So I don't know why we should go to this expense. Now, I mean, if you can explain it to me why we should just waste money when we've got safeguards in here to protect the people, and we didn't appoint Supreme Court justices. These people are only going to be there till the next election if they're not reelected. And if the people don't like what we did up here, they can vote against me, too, in 2010, or these other commissioners. But I really feel like that we have guidelines that we are supposed to go by. And this book right here in the Constitution of the United States, I feel like we're just messing with it too much. And this has been in effect since 1796. And now all of a sudden, every time we run into a problem, we want to run to Nashville and get them to pass a law for us. Now, that's wrong. That's what's wrong. Now, and I don't mean anything derogatory about your profession, but I feel like that our problem is we have too many lawyers in Nashville in the United States Congress. Because I don't know what the word is means. I found that out about 12 years ago. And I thought I did, and I'm pretty old, but apparently lawyers determine to us what the word means. But I do know that the word shall means mandated, does it not, Bud?
Yes, it does.
All right, and in this piece of paper right here, and in this book right here, it says shall. We shall appoint. And that means we were ordered to. Am I correct in that, Bud?
Well, as I understand it, yes, sir.
Okay. That's all. I think that we should let things stand as they are. I cannot vote for a special election.
Okay, Mr. Law Director, do you have any comments up to this point you want to make before we continue?
Only to say that I guess I would have the same reservations about retroactivity of an ex post facto law on this body. I would agree that the interpretation for at least a century and perhaps centuries has been that when we talk about the next election, we're talking about the next general election. The next county general election is next year. The legislature has provided that in presidential preference primary years that this body and any other Knox County official may run in that primary election. I'm curious, I guess, I've read McPherson, Bud, and they had, are you saying that they ran at the next city election?
No, sir. In the McPherson case, they actually ran in the presidential primary in 1980. And let me clarify something.
Was that a partisan election?
It was ruled as a general election, so it was allowed to be partisan, as I understand it. But let me clarify something.
Well, we have primaries, too, for our persons, at least, which would have to be considered as well.
And as you know, primaries are not provided for under the Constitution. There's a lot of mechanisms in state law that allow you to determine how you make primary decisions. But several of you keep referring to language that's been around for 100 years. Article 2, Section 2 was adopted in 1978.
Article 7, Section 2.
I'm sorry, I keep saying Article 2. Article 7, Section 2 is a 1978 provision from the Constitutional Convention of that year.
Well, actually, it was changed for
the wording until the next election is new language.
It was changed by the limited Constitutional Convention.
Okay. Commissioner Lupo.
Which one?
Frank.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.